At the first build, it was just real old stuff, ripping it out. Like, does that?
Yeah, it's completely
Squeaky floorboards.
Yeah.
Guys, today we are joined again by Joe and Adrian from Glazing Hub. Viewers of the channel might recognise Glazing Hub and Joe.
Always.
They did the windows and doors on the previous build. They look fantastic. They're coming here to do a bit of measuring up. Do you want to explain just a little bit of what you're doing?
We're here to just do a site survey, check all the measurements before obviously it goes into manufacture, make sure that obviously toughened glass is in where it needs to be and all kind of stuff like that.
Perfect. What we're going to do, mate, is I'm just going to follow you around. I'm probably going to ask you a bunch of questions, but I'll just let you carry on.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
910 with a 25.
Including, yeah.
My only concern with that, if we change that to a 15 on the right hand side, are we gonna bind on the plaster?
What's the issue with this door?
Nothing. They've put a frame extender on the frame. So effectively, they've put the frame, then they've put an extra frame extender, which is the norm that you'd do on a plastic door. Because the way that the hinges sit, you don't want them to bind on the plaster, so when it opens, this obviously bounces back. So we're just trying to work out, they've put an add-on on one side, not on the other, which is the norm, to be honest, but can we centralise it or make the door slightly bigger?
So what you're doing here is measuring sort of the size of the hole that the door fits in and then figuring out exactly spacing either side?
Yeah, we're just making sure, so we're taking the external measurement, which is the measurement that would go off, then we're just checking on the inside that we aren't going to come across any issues.
Is there any common things that can catch you out when you're measuring these sort of things?
Normally you plaster line on the inside, so you take your external measurement, and then some people obviously don't then measure the internal, and then they kind of come unstuck because the plaster obviously...
Because it's not actually like quite square, it's like tapers in almost.
Yeah, it's just checking inside and out. What floor's going down, do you know?
I know we're potentially getting some like LTV and things like that in the property. As to where and which rooms, yeah, good point on the entrance, not sure. Does that impact you in any way?
Yeah, so there's 3 different thresholds that you can put on the door. Okay. So you can put a low aluminium, which is 15mm. You can then put a low UPVC, which is 50, and then go up to a full height threshold, which is 70mm. Most people want to try and obviously prevent kind of stepping over a huge threshold when it needs to be. If we can lower it, but what we don't want to do is lower it too much and then effectively we catch it on the inside.
Surely it won't come up that far anyway, right? Whatever we...
Well, that's what I'm just going to check. So if we keep it consistent with what we've got there, we shouldn't really have any issues. Okay, so it's got a low UPVC on that.
Did you already know how many windows and doors and things like that was going to be changed?
Yeah, so we had all the images sent across to us. Given a rough price, obviously, from the images that we've been sent across. From that, we are pretty much within a couple of pounds. Take obviously your big brick metrics, you can work out the size of the windows. So that was all sent across to us. We completely did all the pricing on that, did a site visit.
So there's already been a price estimated, and then this is just kind of like finalising.
Correct.
Amazing. Well, there's another thing here as well, which you'll probably have a kitten over. There's not a lintel above this, is
Correct.
there? And why is a lintel important, Joe?
You don't necessarily need a lintel because obviously this has got a soldier course above it. But the soldier
It's got a what, sorry?
A soldier course.
A soldier course.
Yeah.
What's a soldier course?
When the bricks are turned the other way.
Soldier course goes all the way across the top.
Not
like
quite.
that, exactly like that. So your soldier course is there. This is effectively gone, basically. A lintel needs to go in above it. Same on the front.
Because you can literally see it bowing.
Same on the lounge window at the front. That's gone.
What would your normal process be there?
So if it was on a residential, then we'd collaborate with a builder and then they'd do the lintel basically.
There's big old lintels here.
This has already been highlighted. From the images that were sent across, we've already picked out these. We've kind of pinpointed the issues that were there.
So there's no real surprises today?
No, not at all.
Not yet anyway. It wouldn't be a surprise.
We're 2 windows in.
What did you just show there, Joe?
That the measurement is identical to what we'd already got. You're literally within 5 to 10mm max.
Your measurements that you've already got down compared to what you're finding here today are literally within like 5-10 mil?
5-10mm max. Width-wise, we were absolutely spot on from the images, and then purely from the height, from just removing that trim, we're 5mm off.
It seems like that's so close that it actually doesn't matter because you're almost...
No, so from final measuring, obviously it needs to be spot on. From a quoting point of view, 5mm here or there is irrelevant. Obviously, actually putting the order into manufacture, it has to be spot on.
So this window, we've been talking about the kitchen, and more of a question than a definitive right now.
Yeah.
This window is a different size to this window.
Yeah.
And due to the steel that you'll see inside, the ceiling's going to come down a certain amount to just like be able to skim the whole thing. It's going to be really tight to the lip at the top of this window. So there was a question about, can we just get a smaller window to match this one in height? Is that something you guys can do, or would you need to work with Dan or whoever?
If Dan's already here doing the work, he's already doing some of the steel work and stuff like that, it just makes sense, and it's more cost effective for him to do the building work, and then we just arrive and obviously do.
Is that a big job again though, or is it like another lintel and filling on top?
Yeah, basically that's all it is. So a lintel needs to go across, and then he'll just patch in all the brickwork above.
Process of measuring here, what's he, because he's not just going one corner, right?
No, we measure in 3, so you measure bottom, middle and top.
Are you taking an average there?
You take the smallest measurement and then deduct 10 mil. So we have to allow a 10 mil expansion gap. In an ideal world, a brickie has done this absolutely perfectly.
Plumb.
In most cases, it's not the case.
And
so basically he's normally off by, it could be 5, 10. This is like key, because effectively that measurement
is straight to the floor.
Is straight to the floor.
Yeah, because that's flush. There's extremely likely going to be some sort of LTV flooring, for example, so it's probably going to need to get leveled.
I can put a low UPVC on this, which is 50 mil on the external, 30 mil on the internal, and it will give us enough clearance. Once we've done all this, we'll go and input this all into the computer, and then we'll basically send across everything that we need. This is a completely unique, obviously, it's a building site. On a normal residential property, we can answer all these questions ourselves.
The likelihood is normally they're probably not going to be doing a floor as well at the same time, is it, right?
Or if they are, most people normally know roughly what they're going to put down.
We like to play it fast and loose a little bit here. We like a little bit of a surprise. What's a fire escape hinge?
Basically, the issue with the old style hinges is that when you open them, the back of the frame slides across and actually cuts off your escape out the window. So the fire escape windows and the hinges, basically fire egress hinges they're called, they open at 90 degrees, so you've got the full aperture to obviously escape out of.
Is that just an age of these windows?
Well, they're externally glazed, so they're over 20 years.
That means someone could pop the window out from the outside?
Yeah, so they put the pressure gasket in on the inside, force the paint forward, it stops the glass being removed, or as easy. Everything's now internally glazed.
You know how he's ripping the trim and stuff off here?
Yeah.
Would you always do that as well?
When it's decorated, not being plastered and stuff like that, you just got to be slightly more careful than what we're being here. Because this is a building site and this is obviously all going to be plastered and everything like that.
Yeah.
We can do what we want, really, to a certain extent.
So, Joe, we've finished. Well, you finished measuring all the windows and doors. What are the next steps?
So basically we'll take this back, input it into the computer, send across all the final drawings and everything like that, run through some of the questions that we've got with obviously regards to the flooring, and then basically we'll get the sign off on this and then put it straight into manufacture.
One thing that was really impressive was the measurements that you had on your well-prepared document were like within 5 or 10 mil of what measurements you actually took.
The platform that we've created, basically you can put in there all your specification, upload your elevation photos of each elevation of the property where your windows are. From that we can calculate obviously the measurement of the window, send you a price over. Once you're happy with the price, then effectively we'll connect you with a vetted installer, and they come out, do all your final measurements. Effectively this process then does exactly the same. It goes into manufacture and they come out and do the installation.
What can people actually get through the platform? Is it quote, estimate, pricing?
You get the quote through for the product and for the install. As I said, because we've obviously got the photos, you've got a metric to work off with your bricks and stuff like that, it's really simple for us to actually work out your quote, send that back. So you get your quote through, and then once you're happy with that, effectively you proceed, and then we'll come out, do all final measurements and everything like that.
I really like the fact that you can actually get a price before you even get stuck in.
We're so close, you know, from here you're 5 to 10 mil, so it's, you know, it's here or there.
You're a busy man,
I'm a
Joe.
very busy man.
We'll wrap the video here. Guys, if you are interested in finding out more about your windows and doors, check out glazinghub.co.uk, and to stay up to date with the verified build, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.